So I want to talk a little bit today while I work here about the importance of how you're using your social media marketing, how you're growing your channel, how you're posting, the marketing behind what you're doing. But specifically, I want to talk about. I just posted a few quick videos, quick shorts, but I want to dive a little deeper into this because it's on my mind right now, and I want to get it right now while it's in front of me. Is one thing that I've realized, and I don't think a lot of people have caught on, is the fact that your positioning has changed. What does that mean? How you position yourself on social has changed dramatically in the last 3 years. And you're going to start hearing more and more people talk about how things change faster. We used to say things like, we used to say things like, well, things are drastically different than they were 10 years ago. Things were drastically different than they were 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 10, 15, 20. Those were usually the number of people throughout there. Now you're starting to hear people say things like, things have changed so much in the last 5 years, in the last 3 years, in the last year. So that time is shortening because the advancements of technology, especially in this digital space, evolves so rapidly. It's really good for you if you stay in the know, if you understand, if you pay attention. A lot of it is paying attention to what's happening. And I think so many people don't. I think so many people get locked into especially when it comes to content creators, when it comes to social media marketers, when it comes to the people who do this for a living on a regular basis. I think a lot of them get to a point where they find success. And when they find that success on social, when they find that success as a creative, as a marketer, they stop. They stall out because they're like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they just keep jumping in, doing the same thing, and they think that it's going to work forever. And in this day and age, that doesn't happen. You're always having to adapt in the social media space, in the marketing space, in this digital space. How you're navigating through, you have to adapt and change. There's no way for you. You can push back, but you're going to fail. So I'm trying to help you have success. But I want to talk about positioning, because what's happening is I'm seeing a lot of people who were successful, who are still successful, but their marketing and their verbiage and their wordage and their language and their perspective on how they do things and what they're pushing out and that sort of thing, what they're doing is they are jumping out there and still trying to treat social the way that we used to treat Google. So a lot of people are looking for things like keywords and phrases to tag your location, to associate you with an industry, and they're using it the way you used to use Google AdWords, the way you used to use Google search, the way you used to use like near me, and some of that too is coming from the old early days of TikTok. I still people seeing the For You page, and they're trying to tag that and put that in their verbiage and things like that. That stuff has changed, folks. That stuff has changed. It's changed to the point now where social will even flag you, not block you and shut you down, that sort of thing, but Meta specifically wants your post to feel more more like a they want to transcribe and more like it's a conversation. They want it to feel more conversational, more personal, more even in their ads and things like that. The ads that are performing well are the ones where you're talking directly to camera, like you're talking to a person, like I'm talking to you right now. That's what they want. They want that conversation, that community. And I've seen it myself with the brands who I get them to identify with their community. And once they do that, they start building that conversation. They start building that conversation with their community through the posts that they're making. So that connection happens. And when that connection happens, a lot of times your community will start selling to itself. It will start selling to the people around it. It'll start pushing your content. You'll see that your channel will continue to grow and grow over time. So it's very, very important if you are in this space, if you're a marketer, if you're a content creator, maybe you are a business owner and you've got somebody else doing this, or you're doing it yourself, is to know that the more conversational types of posts you can have, the more conversational type of creative media you have. When I say creative, I mean the content, I mean the actual media that you're creating. The more of that you can have, the better off you're going to be, the better your content's going to perform, the better your channel is going to grow and be seen, the more the algorithm's going to like it, because the platform has built the algorithm to like it. So you can't keep treating this like it's Google. You can't keep treating it like you treated it 2 or 3 years ago. You continuously have to look for what's trending, and not saying you have to get on TikTok and dance, not saying you have to follow the trends that like that, but you have to look at why those things are performing well. Why are funny dance videos with music or why are voiceovers from movies and things like, why is that stuff performing? Well, it's performing well on TikTok because that platform is built around entertainment. So you can still be you, and you can still not do those things as long as you're entertaining. People that I resonate with, that I associate with, that I try to reach out and touch and want to work with and things like that, the basis of my platform is marketing and strategy. That's who I'm trying to reach. So the people that don't want to hear educational content aren't going to get on my channel, and I'm okay with that. I'm not a one-size-fits-all trying to reach that medium. So what you need to know is when you're building that content, that's changed. You're not putting words like Southeast Mississippi or Northwest Idaho or things like that. You're not using those words anymore, because while they may hit, they're not hitting the way they used to hit. They're not doing what they used to do. They're not having that same resonance and reach like it used to. And you want to future-proof your business as much as possible. And part of that is your social strategy. It is your digital strategy. It is the marketing and strategy behind what you're doing. So when you're looking at positioning, how you're positioning, if you continuously push the same kind of content that you used to push 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, you're probably out of date. If you are looking at the here and now and what the future looks like, you're probably going to want to do a few things. One, you're going to be entertaining to your audience, so you have to pinpoint what your audience is to be entertaining to that. Number two, you have to make sure that you are being conversational. It has to feel personal. It has to feel like we're having that one-to-one. We're having that sit down over drinks, over dinner, on the couch, around the kitchen table, whatever it is, kind of conversational feel to your content. Otherwise, you're stuck in 1999, 2005, trying to make content for now. So when it comes to positioning, you need to position yourself in that role of having a conversation. If your content's not hitting right now and you're not doing that, that's why. If you're doing that, then you're doing it for the wrong audience. You're feeding the wrong audience the wrong food, so they don't want to eat it. So check that. Check what audience you're reaching out to. I've had to rebrand and push really, really hard in the last 7 or 8 years to move out of automotive into more of the marketing space that I'm in for small business. That was the goal, is to move to that point. Now I'm having to transition out of small business, and still with automotive holding on to me, over to more of a creative space for entrepreneurs and startups specifically, not just small business anymore. So I'm slowly adapting my audience, because my industry is shifting as well, because small business has said, I just want whoever's the cheapest. And there's a lot of cheap people that have jumped out there, and they're okay with selling themselves short. Heard hurting our industry a little bit, hurting their bottom line and themselves. They don't really know it, by selling themselves really short just because they want to jump out there and say that they're an entrepreneur and say that they're creative and say they're a marketing agency for pennies on the dollar. So I'm shifting because I really want to help people, and I'm looking for the people that really need the help, that understand the value of what I bring to the table. I'm not just bringing content. So that's me in a nutshell, and I could get real deep into that if I wanted to, but the goal here is to make you realize, if you're posting on socials, if you're paying someone to post on social, if you're a creative that's creating for social, if you're doing anything inside the digital world, you're an influencer, an entrepreneur, a business, a company, no matter what size you're at, even if you're a startup, if you're any kind of brand, anything that is directly working in this digital space of social media, and you are not being conversational, if you're not making sure it feels like your posts are conversational, and number two, if you're still trying to use the old school way of location tagging through terms and all this kind of stuff, that's just really outdated. It just really is. I know that probably a lot of you go, well, I do it and it still works. Okay, thanks, Karen. But yeah, it's outdated. You've got to move into the now. You've got to be in the present to make sure that you're not falling behind. So hope this helps you guys. Thanks for all of you who jumped on the live. Thanks for all the love that was there. It was an awesome one. And thank you guys over here on YouTube. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.